Hi everyone, my name is Donnie Lowy from Closeoutexplosion.com. The next time you're in New York, you're welcome to visit my warehouse. So today I'd like to talk to you about how you can become a wholesale business advisor. Now, a wholesale business advisor is an individual who has experience in the wholesale business and can advise buyers and sellers on how to conduct their wholesale business. So for example, a wholesale advisor might specialize in helping retailers find sources for wholesale dresses. A wholesale advisor might specialize in helping retailers negotiate wholesale purchases of dresses. Or on the selling side, you can have a wholesale advisor that helps other wholesalers sell their merchandise to retailers. Let's say I'm a wholesale business and I would like to start selling leather belts to boutiques in Europe. And I'm not familiar with the leather belt market, and I'm not familiar with, let's say, boutiques in Europe. So I can use the services of a wholesale advisor that can help me navigate the leather belt market to make the best buying decisions and help me find sources for those leather belts, and at the same time can help me find boutiques in Europe and help me navigate the process of selling to those boutiques. Now, realistically, a wholesale advisor might be very familiar with the buying side, might be very familiar with the selling side, but everyone's going to have their different specialties, right? So an example I gave with the leather belts, there could be a wholesale advisor who's very well informed about the leather belt market, but might not be that, I would say, up to date on boutiques in Europe, and vice versa. You can have a wholesale advisor who knows everything about how to sell to boutiques in Europe. He knows the contact information for many boutiques in Europe. He has people who he's dealt with personally in Europe, but he might not be familiar with the leather belt market. So people who use a wholesale business advisor don't expect you to know everything, but they expect you to have a specialty, and they expect you to know just enough to help them in their business. Right? Imagine there's a retailer, and the retailer is trying to navigate the New York fashion district. He's trying to find the best wholesale sources. So he might not expect the wholesale business advisor to know everything about importing wholesale clothing, but he doesn't need that information. He wants a wholesale advisor that knows how to find the best wholesale deals in the New York fashion district. So now, how do you actually gain that experience? You gain that experience through trial and error. You gain that experience through educating yourself. So you gain that experience by going out to the market that you want to focus on, learning everything about that market, reading books, reading trade journals, subscribing to magazines. If there's any newspapers or trade publications that cover that niche in the wholesale industry, definitely subscribe to them. You can go to a library and get access to those publications, go online, participate in wholesale forums, engage people in discussions. This way you can learn. If you have any questions, ask your questions, get answers. Because remember, at the beginning, you're going to be developing your knowledge base. And based on that knowledge base, you're going to be able to offer your services later on. You don't have to know everything right away, but you have to be in a position where you're exploring the market and you're learning everything that you can about the marketplace. And then you actually want to gain experience by getting involved in the market. You can gain experience by visiting wholesale showrooms. You can gain experience by actually buying and selling products in the marketplace. And what I would recommend to you is, if you are going to become a wholesale business advisor, start out by offering services based on experience that you already have. So if you've made numerous trips to the wholesale fashion district in New York, then market your sources, your experiences to people who want to make that trip, or maybe people who cannot make that trip, and then you take them with you. You charge them a consulting fee, you charge them for your time, you can charge by the hour, or you can just charge them to put them in touch with the sources that you have. Now let's say you are a retailer in Africa, and you're based in Nigeria, and you have a lot of experience in importing wholesale dresses from the United States. So you can offer your services as a wholesale business advisor to other retailers in Nigeria that want to import wholesale dresses from the United States. Now, I want to give you something I think that's going to be very interesting. It's something very important. When I started my wholesale business, there were a lot of things that I had to learn on my own. And a lot of times I'd have discussions with people, and they would really share information with me, and they were very helpful. But a lot of times they didn't share with me information, not because information was private, but just because they assumed they already knew that information. But I did not know that information. So as a wholesale business advisor, you're going to have a lot of information which might seem very simple and it might seem obvious to you, but people are going to appreciate gaining that information. Whether it's a simple process on how to check merchandise, whether it's a simple negotiating tip. Let's say there's a wholesaler that has a minimum, and you know through your experience that that wholesaler actually is going to be happy to sell, initially at below the minimum. So let people know that, because someone might assume that, okay, you're not going to be able to buy from that wholesaler because the wholesaler's minimum is $500. But you know that if they approach that wholesaler and let the wholesaler know that they're interested to do business on a long-term basis, then that wholesaler is going to be happy to waive that minimum requirement. So in other words, there's so many things that you might take for granted that other people don't know, and they're going to be willing to pay you for that information, for that knowledge base. Alright, so if you have any questions, definitely let me know. You can give me a call. And actually, we didn't even go yet, we didn't review yet how to find your customers. So you want to find your customers you could cold call stores, you could cold call wholesalers, let them know what it is that you do, set up a nice website where you have testimonials from other people who've used your services. And if you're starting from scratch and you don't have customers yet, so you don't have any testimonials you could put, then focus more on what you're able to provide, on the benefits. Maybe even offer your services on a trial basis where people don't have to spend that much money with you yet. Maybe you give them some context or some information for free, and then if they see how much you can help them, then they'll be encouraged to go ahead and to spend more money with you and to engage your services on a long-term basis. And make sure that you actually have a concrete plan of what it is that you're going to offer people when they become your customer. Alright, my website is closeoutexplosion.com. The next time you are in New York, you're welcome to visit my warehouse. I'd be very happy to do business with you. Thank you so much and have a great day.